Okay, hello Bernard and Allison. Thanks for your time. It's nice to
Hello.
have you with these exclusive insights about the documentary Becoming Led Zeppelin. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's
Pleasure to meet you.
wonderful to be here with you.
Let's gonna start with the first question. Este es el primer documental autorizado por la banda. ¿Cómo lograron que los miembros de Led Zeppelin confiaran en su visión para contar su historia?
This is the first authorized documentary by the band. How did you manage to gain the trust of the Led Zeppelin members to tell their story?
That's a great question. Well, the first thing was that really liked our last film. It's called American Epic.
That movie was about the first blues, country, gospel records in the 1920s and 1930s, which is really the roots of Led Zeppelin. And so when we came to think of a new film, I'd read this book when I was 12 years old called Led Zeppelin, this particular paperback book here. My
Amazing.
mum just brought this from my bookshelf when I was a kid, and I didn't know who the group was, and so I read this book, and I was sort of loved the story, was fascinated with the story, and I read it twice, and so I said to Alison, this would make a great follow-up story to American Epic, and I knew they'd never done a film before. And after I read this book, I loved the band's music, but I had this personal connection in that when my mum saw me reading it, she said, do you remember there was a guy that used to come and buy antiques from me? And you would sit on his knee when you were 7 years old, a big guy. And I said, yeah, I remember him, Uncle Peter. And she said, yeah. Well, one day your dad saw him leaving the house and he was getting into a silver Shadow Rolls Royce. What he did the next time he came round, and he said, I'm the manager of Led Zeppelin. And I loved this story. And so I went to Alison and then we started writing a.
Yes, when Bernard told me he thought it would be a good idea because it was a never before told story, and that's what we like. We then sat down and started researching, writing, and preparing a storyboard. So we looked for any archive that existed. We wrote a script and then created this storyboard here. And that whole process took 7 months before we even had our first meeting with them. So when we reached out to the group to meet them, we were really prepared.
When we met them
My friends
preparing,
thought we were crazy
yeah.
because they'd never agreed to do a film before, so it could have been for nothing. They could have said no, and that 7 months would have been wasted.
But when we met them, and it transpired that they were fans of American Epic, our previous films, and we sat down with them, and we basically presented the film to them, and I think we had a meeting with Jimmy Page that was 7 hours long, going through that book, and answering all these questions and stuff like this. But what was great was they allowed us to make the film ourselves, and so it was like an independent production. And in fact, they introduced us to all the people that they had grown up with as boys. And so we got to meet the people that taught Jimmy's first chords on guitar. Perry Foster, who was the guy that gave Robert a role in his first blues band. And so we met.
And the priest that gave John Paul Jones his first job as choir master, that allowed him to buy his guitar.
Yeah, we were talking to him, and he was like he's in his 90s now. And so yeah, it was really amazing. And then when they came to the interviews, they arrived with like bags of photographs and things that I'd never seen before, and recordings. Like Robert bought this recording he'd made with John Bonham in 1968 that no one had heard before. And so all this is in the film. It was really exciting.
Yeah, it's amazing about all the things that you say.
We're close friends with Led Zeppelin members.
What you hope happens as a filmmaker is that you could generate a respect with the subject you're making a film about, and that they respect the work that you've done and what you're trying to do, and they are trying to be candid and open with you. I mean, what you're having is you're wanting someone to feel comfortable to tell their story and to open up. And I think what's really wonderful about what they did with this film is they were very open. When they're talking on camera, they're talking to you like that you're a family member, and they're telling you what happened to them. Like Robert's telling you how he was thrown out of his house, how he was homeless, and all these emotional things. When I met John Paul Jones, we met him, I'd never seen an interview where he was talking in the way that he talks privately. He's very funny and entertaining. I thought, well, if I can have him talking like this in a movie, it's going to be really interesting. And he was, And the other thing we had is that we wanted to have full songs in the film. So this is like a film that's made for cinema. It's made to see it on the biggest screen possible with the biggest speakers. It's Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're going to a concert in 1969, and we're taking you into that world that you never thought you'd be in. And so it's a chance to like time travel back to that period. And you're hearing the music as well, the way that it was meant to be heard then. This music's not been altered for modern tastes. It's like these are the original discs that were cut at the time and just transferred on the best machines, and it's been given to you very pure. So you're getting this really kind of pure, sound and visuals of that period. But it's edited like a movie, like a feature film. It's like a feature film musical with...
Yeah, we love films of like the golden age of Hollywood, the 30s and 40s, and we're inspired by Frank Capra. So we use lots of feature film techniques, like when we film the newspapers opening and tickets dropping, and you can really see what's happening. So we don't need a narrator to tell you what's going on. You can just see what's happening with your own eyes. And then we use the music and the song lyrics as a character to tell you what's happening. When Jimmy Page is going with Peter Grant to New York to try to get a record deal, we're hearing the lyrics to the song, Your Time Is Going to Come.
So, si tuvieran que describir este documental en una sola frase para los fans de Led Zeppelin, ¿cuál sería esta frase?
It's traveling back in time. You are going to the concerts, the first concerts they played, and you are in those concerts. You're in that world, and you're hearing what they felt then about their music and about each other. You're there. You're living those events in real time.
And for you, Alison?
Some people have called it a hybrid docu-concert film. So it's not like a documentary. Because we have full songs, you're really enjoying them. People are singing along, people are clapping after the full songs.
Y por último, las nuevas generaciones siguen descubriendo a Led Zeppelin a pesar de los años. ¿Cómo decidieron qué aspectos destacar y qué tono darle a la historia?
Well, this film tells the young generation how to do this. So it's telling you, showing you how they did it. And so a new generation can do this. And what it's telling you, the film is telling you, when you have something you want to do in life, and maybe it's not what your parents are telling you should do, and you've got a dream, what it's telling you is work hard at that thing. Don't sit on your phone, looking at the internet. You meet people and go out there and do this thing and interact with people and learn, and don't waste a single day. And then an opportunity will happen and you'll be ready for that opportunity. And then when you grab that opportunity, you might be working with some people that you have never met before. And then you collaborate with those people and you protect that thing. And you use everything you've learned to do it the way you think you should do it. And if all the industry is saying, oh, no, you've got to be on Spotify, you've got to put your songs for free on YouTube, and you don't think you should, you go, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it this way. So it's telling those kids, there's another way, your way. Just learn what it is. That's the message.
To be a great rock star. Okay. Thank you guys for your time. Please, could you say hi to all our family of Los 40 Ecuador?
Los 40 Ecuador. Hello from Alison and Bernard, calling you from London, England. I hope you enjoyed going to see Becoming Led Zeppelin.
See it in the biggest cinema you can. And this is the chance to see Led Zeppelin like you're at the show. Sadly, they never played in Ecuador, but now it's coming.
And you
Yeah.
can go with your friends.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, Mother
guys, for
Barbara.
your time. It's
Thank
a
you.
big pleasure, and we can wait to see the
Nice to meet
documentary.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Gracias, gracias, chicos.
Oh, that's very nice.